LBO's second part. Well, who are the lenders? Well, and how do they lend? They lend money through several tools. First is senior debt. Most of the time, a senior debt is made up of a tranche A, which is amortized every year over 6 or 7 years. And then you have tranche B and or C, which are bullet debts repaid after, at the end, after tranche A has been repaid. Interest rate is pretty high, but it's commensurate with the risk taken by the LBO due to the leverage effect. And you have interest rate around Euribor plus 4%. In addition to senior debt, you have junior debt or subordinated debt. Subordinated debt means what? Means that it is only repaid once the senior debt has been repaid. Subordinated debt can take the form of high yield debt. High yield, does that mean that you borrow money at a very high interest rate? It's at high interest rates because the target is highly indebted and you are in a position which is junior compared to the senior lenders. So it's normal, it's a high yield debt. Or mezzanine, which is another way to grant money with a high interest rate, of which part is paid through warrants, allowing lenders through mezzanines to get a part of the capital gain if at the end of the story there is a capital gain. Whatever may be the form, high yield debt or mezzanine, both are reimbursed after senior debts. Senior debt or subordinated debt are granted by either specialized banks or dedicated funds. When I mention specialized banks, I should say large banks. Large banks because those schemes are pretty complex. And you need to have large teams to be able to tackle them. First, and second, as it is a high-risk business, you need it to be in a large bank so that to diversify the risk of the bank. So LBO business is not for small banks or medium-sized banks. Or dedicated funds, some funds get money from wealthy investors and invest this money by buying a part of some debt issued by LBO's companies. Here you have some ratios. In blue, you have the debt to EBITDA ratio. In gray, you have the equity to EBITDA ratio, and the total is the price paid for companies under LBO in Europe compared to their EBITDA. Without a surprise, you see that the maximum amount of debt was reached here, where you see that you had a small amount of equity, around 1/3, and 2/3 were financed through debt. Then come up the 2008/2009 financial crisis, and then companies under LBOs, lenders, started to be much more cautious, requesting, as you can see here, a balance, more or so, half of equity, half of debt. Meaning that nowadays, companies under LBO are bought, roughly speaking, in average 10 times their EBITDA, and debt is, roughly speaking, 5 times the EBITDA. Managers. Well, managing a company under LBO is not managing a family company. It's not the same as managing a listed company. First, you are appointed as a manager of a company under LBO, not because of your name, as may happen in family company, not because you are very politically astute, but because you are a very good manager. So meritocracy is key. Second element, you are asked as a manager to invest a substantial part of your wealth, at least half of it, as a shareholder of the holding company alongside the LBO fund, so that your financial interests as a manager are perfectly aligned with those of shareholders, the LBO funds. You suffer from the pressure of the debt. The debt is here, it's pretty heavy, 5 times the EBITDA, roughly speaking, and you have to generate enough free cash flows in order to repay this debt. You have with you professional and involved shareholders. Board of directors of a company under LBO do not devote time to talk about the politics or the result of the football match of yesterday. They talk about business things, how to expand, how to do positive NPV investment, how to get the cash to repay the debt. They focus on the business and they have a look at everything. They manage the company from the point of view of cash flow, because you repay your debt with cash, as you know. So this is creating a lot of stress. Stress for the managers. It's not good for your future to be associated with a company under LBOs that is unable to repay its debt or goes bankrupt because of that. Stress of the manager because they have invested a substantial part of their personal net worth into their own business, and it is a leveraged business. Stress of the bankers that have lent to a company under LBO. Is the company able to repay the debt? Is a question mark. Stress of the manager of the LBO funds, because themselves, their compensation is strongly linked to the result achieved by the company under LBO. And at the last stage, stress of the final investors, the wealthy investors, the university fund, the insurance companies, the pension funds that have invested a small part, but nevertheless a significant part of their assets into LBO's funds. Stress is good, but you need to know that to resist the stress.